No man, man. Oh, there with the hands. Thought he could guard me. I ruin they plans. I do what I want. They do what they can. Got it on smash. Put on the gas. I will not crash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. They slept on the team that they owe me. I need a ring and a trophy. I say I'm the best cause I am. It's noted in keeping it low-key. I can carve up the D like a turkey or run straight through the D like a train. This year we ain't taking no losses. It's all about making the game. I hear a lot of trash talk. You call us up making it.
Just off the shores of Lake Erie, we are at First Energy Stadium in a city aptly named after its founder, Moses Cleveland, way back in 1796. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Oakland Raiders and the Cleveland Browns. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. So close to an interception. Read that beautifully. Got his hands on it. Couldn't get it. And it's second down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum. Big play. Right in his hands. Unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that that fell harmlessly to the ground. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. First carry for Josh Jacobs. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of ground.
He trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. T.J. Green with a pick, and he'll bring this one back to the 29. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
That's going to be caught. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
First and goal at the 2-yard line.
180. Let's make these babies cry all the way back. Hey, 133.
They'll give it to Chubb. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. They'll try again with Chubb. And he takes this one in for a Brown score. Nick Chubb, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 the score as they start 1st and 10. Pretty good results here on the first down run as he takes this forward for about 6. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. Now Carr. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion. Boy, here we go again. Just like last week, each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Third down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down.
My 7.
Shotgun now for Carr. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete. Denzel Ward right there in coverage to get the hand in.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
On now to kick it away is the punter, Matt Wild. Back deep, Jarvis Landry. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. This is taken at the 10. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. And coming up on their 2nd drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice, that it all came together. But I'll bet you it got galvanized in the locker room in pregame. Somehow I think the head coach, his oratorical skills were on point.
Switch.
Throwing on 2nd down, Mayfield. This is the tight end, Njoku. That one good for a 1st down pickup of 18 yards.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
Mayfield now looking to throw on 1st down. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. From the gun, Mayfield. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. And again, it's Mayfield. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Demetrius Harris, his 1st touchdown on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Well, they have to be loving this start to the 1st quarter.
Well, the way that they're going, I mean, you're about 2 touchdown drives already. They feel very confident and feel like they have all the answers in this game. They're 1 point away from going up 14-0. Maybe they press the advantage and go for 2.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script, I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points. Get that 0 off the board. Now on 2nd and 13. Carr. Oh, he almost had it. Already with 1 interception, just missing his 2nd there.
He's not exactly had a banner start to this game. We're still in the first quarter. He's already thrown an interception, and that should have been the 2nd one.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Carr. He's airing it out for Williams. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Tyrell Williams, 81 yards, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. They were already down 2 scores early. They needed something to try to stem that tide, and that certainly qualifies. A big play to get them in the end zone.
It qualifies indeed because, let's face it, they don't get something done on this drive, turn it back over. This game could be 88 and out the gate early.
What? 88 and out the gate?
Yeah.
What's that?
Listen, I used to hear my old man talk about it. It usually meant that thing's done.
Well, now that they got the touchdown, it's not 88 and out the gate. We still got a good game going ahead of us. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
I'm laughing to myself because I could just hear in film session. But, Coach, I was throwing to Odell Beckham Jr. Of course I thought he was open.
They'd love to go deep downfield to him, though. Such a threat.
Yeah, a rare incomplete.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Prince Amukamara. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Well, this was a 14-0 game not too long ago. Things were looking pretty good. Then you give up the touchdown on the last drive. Now the interception.
So that's a lesson in trying to stay vigilant, isn't it? You have to stay on top of things. Can't relax too much because, as you noted, things change. Now they've got to go out there and get a spark going again and try and slow down this comeback.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
From the 35 on 2nd down, Carr. And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. From the corner, it was Kendall Fuller with a sack.
And it's 3rd down. 3rd and long.
Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Carr. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Tackle made there by Myles Garrett. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well. But when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Escaping the pressure, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The Clemson Tiger, Vic Beasley, reaches home that time.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. And his kick is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Here we go.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. That's caught inside the 20. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. On to the second from Cleveland. It's the Browns in control of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Now a fake on the give here as they try to run pass option. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain followed by a sizable loss here. So following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. Mayfield tosses one complete to Landry, and he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 7.
Mayfield off the play fake. Flush to his right. And he's got his man. That's Landry. He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. It's a 1st down.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a 1st down with a nice throw.
Here's Mayfield. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Here's Seibert now to add the extra point. It's good, and it's 21-10. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken to the back of the end zone.
The Raiders take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They'll look to make some inroads here, trailing 21-10 as they come up on a 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. That's on the big guard, Gabe Jackson. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And tough to win games if you're going field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score.
It's easy work, and it's coming again.
Now on 2nd and 13. Carr. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Carr. And that will be incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
And now it's the punter Weil on as he sends this one away. Landry now on the return. 51 yards on the punt there. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Browns drive about to get started. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything?
It's caught inside the 25. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Jonathan Abram picks it. And he will take it out to the 25-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw again. Carr. He'll have a 1st down past the 40. This will be caught. Tyrell Williams. That one good for a 1st down pickup of 18 yards.
18 on the play. And the Raiders first down.
694.
On 1st down, Carr. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Yannick Ngakoue make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
Give him 6 on the run. It'll be 3rd down now with still a long way to go to get to the 1st down marker. Working from the gun, it's Carr. Flushed out, and a big loss here as he's taken down. Myles Garrett in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. And keep your eye on that man. 4 sacks last week, 1 there here in the 2nd quarter. He can be so disruptive.
So what was he doing in the 1st quarter? What was going on?
Took a nap.
I think he tried to lull him to sleep a little bit. Like, yeah, okay, maybe you've got me this week. No longer. And you know, with the 4 sacks last week, it's obvious he gets his in flurries.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And 2 interceptions already here in this 1st half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find...
And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now this one complete on the slant route.
180. Hey, along the line.
Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And it's knocked away and incomplete. The secondary has been roasted in this 1st half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's 1 step in the proper direction.
And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. And this will do the job nicely as that'll be out of bounds just inside the 10-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Carr. He rifles one that's intercepted. T.J. Green with a pick, and he'll bring it back to the 9-yard line. They had him back deep, got the interception, and now they start inside the 10.
Partner forgets starting inside the red zone. They're inside the green zone. From the 10-yard line in, a lot of teams call it that because that's the money zone. Get it into the end zone and make your cash.
And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. 5 yards, a good run there, and now 2nd and goal.
And a nice job defensively to keep him out of the end zone. He's trying to get his 2nd touchdown already in the first half.
They had that one earlier, was bidding for a 2nd. The lone man in the backfield here is Chubb on 2nd and goal. Now Mayfield. Njoku pulls this one in. He's got it for a Cleveland touchdown. David Njoku, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. First half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach, go ahead and run out the clock and start over. Don't make any more mistakes. But there's also something to understanding that you got this last drive here. You get the ball to start the second half. Try and go 2 for 1 here. Get some points now and come out of the locker room and get more points again and get your momentum really built up.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw again. Carr. And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. Staying on his feet, shreds the tackle. He's going to let this one go deep. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds. So a big call there that brings up 4th. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. It's caught inside the 25. A big play that time for Cleveland. 51 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
Mayfield to throw it. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Gary and Conley. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Myles Garrett has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
44, Mike. Go. Come on, dude. 4-4 to Mike. Mike 4-4.
Here's Carr. And finding the tight end, Hooper. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Myles Garrett in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
I think we've seen this before. If someone's down 3 scores, that situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10.
Check that. 180. Okay, just like that. Just like that. Check 93.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He gets this into the hands of Taylor. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 23 yards, the final tally. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And it'll be intercepted. LaMarcus Joyner with a pick. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm. It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Devin White gets to him well behind the line of scrimmage. That is a loss of 17 yards. Here we go on 4th down with Carr. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And, boy, that means this next drive is going to start at the 3-yard line. They'll come out in the pistol. And a failure on 4th down on the other side leads immediately to a 1st and goal.
Run. Check. Freestone, travel. Check. Rail. Hurry. Guard. Check the guard. Regular. Check.
They'll run with Chubb, and he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Nick Chubb with his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.